welcome to Chasing Green Arrows. Today is an FA Cup final special. I have with me my co-host as usual, Mr. Abrar Aziz. How are you doing, brother?
Good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. And I have with me from last episode, Zayan, big Chelsea fan. Zayan, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. Thank you. And a special guest, first time debut, Mr. Rayan Ahmed, all the way from Hyderabad. Mukhafam Jah, how are you doing, buddy?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. Ready to go.
Excited for the final?
Yes.
Don, I'll start with you first. Arsenal Football Club, 8th place in the Premier League. But their form in the FA Cup has been absolutely outstanding. Like beating City in the semi-final is no joke. There's a Europa League spot also on the line and a trophy for Arteta potentially. How are you looking forward to this game?
I'm just gonna sum it up in in just one line, right? I'm just gonna say 3-1 to Arsenal.
I didn't ask for your prediction yet.
No, I know you're not saying your prediction eventually, but I just want to say that's what's gonna happen. I'm 100% confident we're gonna win this one.
No memories of
Hope
Baku.
this being recorded.
It is being recorded.
There on YouTube. Don't worry, right? Yeah. I'll switch off my phone if it do so. It's okay.
No memories of Baku haunting you?
It was under a different manager, so I'm not worried.
Okay.
But on a serious note though, like I honestly think that Arteta will really want this because we have more at stake than Chelsea. We need this win more. I mean, of course, Chelsea needs a cup and everything would be great for them, but they already made the top four. They have nothing to look forward to. They are in the Champions League. Everything's great. But for us, only a victory gives us a European spot. So we need this, and we need this a lot. And of course, to add like a little bit of quite an improvement since the Emery era. With Arteta kind of taking us into a much better system and we're playing better. Just to kind of tap that off, I think it'd be nice to have a trophy in Arteta's first, not even 4 years. So it'll be a nice confidence booster. So I'm honestly very optimistic about Saturday.
Yeah, and that extra money helps. The Europa League money will help you definitely in the transfer market. But Zayan and Ryan, going to you first. Going to you now. I'll go with Zayan first. Chelsea, your thoughts on this game? What do you think is going to happen, and your initial thoughts, basically?
So, credit to Arsenal. They had a much difficult semi-final. They had Man City, and I think
that's a blow to me, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, I think Arsenal were good in that game defensively and stuff. But I think even though, as Abrar said, there's a new manager and, no more memories of, or I guess nightmares of Baku. I think at the same time, it's a similar group of players. I mean, not all of them, but a similar group. And I think Arsenal finished outside the top four last season. They had to win the Europa League to qualify for Champions League, and they bottled it. So I think it might play on the players' mind, even though there's a new manager. And I think Lampard has already, he's already had a taste of playing at Wembley in a final where he lost, to with Derby County last season in the playoff final. I think Lampard will be more composed this time around. He'll be more used to, the occasion rather than Arteta. So I think Chelsea do have the upper hand, but, it's a cup game and you never know what might happen.
Yeah, and Rayan, there's no Drogba or Diego Costa, but you guys do have Giroud, former Arsenal player.
Yes.
How do you look
especially his Wembley record speaks for himself.
Yeah, even though a lot of it is with Arsenal, but yeah.
Yes, but still, the ground is the same.
Yeah, it's true.
And as I pretty much agree on everything Zayan said, but the thing is, if you compare the lineup, the Baku lineup and the lineup that probably Arteta is going to throw, the big difference, although as a Chelsea fan I shouldn't be saying this, is going to be David Luiz. Okay, David Luiz is a winner. He's been a winner everywhere. His defensive issues we know about his defensive issues, but he's a winner. All right. Even if there's one winner, even if there's one player who has that leader mindset and has that winning mentality, that's going to make a huge difference on the whole Arsenal team. All right. That's why this is going to be different to Baku. Much different. It's going to be a much tighter game. I don't think it's going to be an end-to-end game. It's going to be very congested. The team that wins the midfield battle is going to win the game. I can write it down for you right now. And Arteta, one thing I never thought any manager could come and do was solidify Arsenal's defense. I never thought that. With
Against
the
City,
players
that
at
was
his disposal.
exceptional. Yeah, against City.
Exceptional defense. One shot on target, bhai. Kisko bolte ho? And their second choice goalkeeper. Well, I shouldn't be. We have a 39-year-old goalkeeper as our first choice now, currently.
Yeah.
And they have Emiliano Martinez. This guy has been on loan to Getafe, Rotherham, and all these second division clubs. When in reality, he should have been starting for. He can start for each and every top 6 club.
Yeah.
You know, his consistency. There's no shot in the dark or anything. This is consistent form, and if he keeps up that form in the final, then it's going to be a tough game for Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, like Arsenal were really impressive against City, especially defensively. But Don, there are still defensive frailties there, right? There are weaknesses, some cracks there, and we've seen against Aston Villa, against Watford as well. They did concede goals, so it's not all good in the hood in terms of the defense, is it?
Absolutely, I agree. But I mean, I want to thank Ryan. If he almost spoke like an Arsenal fan, but he's right about certain things, right? David Luiz, he's a big game player. I've had my nightmares with him. I sometimes get up very, very scared with David Luiz in defense. but he is.
We know that feeling.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. But he is a big game player. That will help. But I just think that if they can do what they did in City, I think I'm quite confident that they'll end up with a victory. They just need to be composed. They need to make sure they have everything, and I hope that they play holding Luiz and Tierney as the back three, and then play their wing backs. I think we'll be okay with that formation.
Saka as a wing back.
Saka as your left wing back, and then Bellerin at right.
I was so confused. I thought he was an attacking player, and
Saka is probably one of the most versatile youth players I've seen in a long time. That guy can play as an 8. He can play as a left winger, right winger, left back, left wing back.
Yeah,
the only place remaining is centre back. He can probably do that too.
I hope we don't have to get to that point, but yeah, I honestly think Saka at left back and then Bellerin at right, and that gives us enough defensive thing, and then Xhaka can kind of man the middle of the midfield as well. But moving on from the team, I honestly think that Tierney at the left centre back. So I want to play holding.
Just give your formation quickly. Your predicted formation. How do you think Arsenal will set up? If you can give that.
That's kind of how in the back line I already mentioned. So I want Martinez will start. Luiz holding, Tierney, Bellerin, and Saka on the wing backs, and then I have Ceballos and Xhaka in the middle. That's something. I play a front three of Abba, Laka, and Pepe. I think that's it, right? That's
it. Yeah.
My 5, 2, and 3. Yeah, that's my team.
Yeah.
So one thing I'd like to mention is, if Emery, and I'm not some tactical genius or anything, but I've watched a lot of Premier League. That's all I've been doing. Auba against back threes, since the restart, he has struggled when he's being played on the left wing because he's being outnumbered 2-1, and plus we have two really good defenders in James and Aspilicueta on that right side.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling Auba, he has to play through the middle in the final to make a bigger impact, in my opinion.
That's actually a very good point. I noticed that recently as well, especially on games where he wasn't scoring. That was literally what was happening because and you guys will play 3 at the back too, right? Yeah, that makes sense.
I think Lampard will go with 3 at the back in this game.
Yeah, for sure. I think so. I think he might consider playing Laka and Auba together a little bit, like off of each other, which will be interesting to see. He might start him off with the left and then just keep having him come in a lot, and probably that's kind of how it'll be. But it'll be interesting to see that, and I think the tactical battle between the two managers will be very interesting.
Yeah.
Both younger managers with an important final up against each other for the first time in a final, pretty sure. Yeah. So it's just going to be a fun game. I'm optimistic. And Wembley is also an Arsenal ground. We've been winning a lot lately over there, so I'm also definitely going to switch off my phone if we lose. I'm definitely ready for a while.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot on the line. Zayan, how do you think Chelsea will set up? Similar to the United game or something different?
Yeah, I think. I prefer Lampard playing a 4-3-3, but maybe for this game, I think he should stick with the 3 at the back. And I think we have our issues at left back, but when we play with three at the back, then Alonso is a different player. So I think Lampard will probably stick to that, and I think Kepa is done. He's not going to play. Caballero will play, and then I think he's going to use the same back three: the Aspilicueta, Zuma, and Rudiger. Yeah, even though that's not my preferred three centre backs, but I think those three will play. James on the right and Alonso on the left. And then I really hope Kante returns from injury.
Yes.
And if he does, then we can see the best of Kovacic. And I hope Kovacic and Kante play. I think Kante should be fit. And the front three, I would go for Willian, Pulisic, and Giroud. And I think Willian was injured last game. I'm not sure. Ryan, is he injured or no? Willian
he was, but personally, I dropped Willian for this game.
It might be his last game, man, with Werner and
No. The thing is, last year, do you remember Petr Cech, that whole controversy that happened? He was joining as sporting director, and still Emery played him. And then, although he was your best player that night, but I wouldn't risk it with Willian because we know with Brazilian players, they have a tendency to just give up when things are not going their way. And
I think
this guy Willian has an offer from Arsenal as well. Sorry.
No worries.
Willian has an offer from Arsenal, and that whoever his agent is, some weird name he has. He came on some radio show. He's saying that it's a tug of war between American clubs, European clubs, and Arsenal is one of them. So personally, I'd bench Willian. I'd rather go with Mount or Hudson-Odoi on the right wing. But as Zayan said, spot on. I'd go with the same team. As he said, there's no changes to that lineup I'd make. Only for Willian and Hudson-Odoi or Mount, Giroud and Pulisic are a must. One more thing I'd say is, if Arsenal somehow they don't go with the back three, then we are in trouble, because Chelsea can only play well in a back three if the opposition is playing a back three. That's what I've noticed, and that's what I believe. If somehow,
against United, is what I was
Liverpool and United, we played in a back three, we struggled. Even in the game against Arsenal at the Emirates, I think it was Arteta's second or third game in charge. We started with a back three, zero control in midfield. Arsenal were playing with a back four. They absolutely dominated us first 30 minutes. We brought Jorginho on, changed the formation. Next 50 minutes, it was just banter. Arsenal were bantered. Sorry, Abraham. Yeah.
I just wanted to add to.
Go ahead.
He should have gotten a red card in that one. Just remember.
So even Mr. 19-year-old with a bad attitude should have gotten a red card.
19-year-old with a bad attitude. Yes, you can complete your point.
So getting back to Willian, I think as Ryan said, I think he's right with these Brazilians having this tendency to go crazy, mentally, I guess. But I think Willian is, I like to believe, is a little bit different, and he's been at Chelsea. He's one of our longest serving players, and I think in the big games, Willian does turn up. So
his defensive contribution is also really important.
His work rate is important, but obviously he's aging and stuff. I wouldn't want to see him in the long term, but I think right now he has to start that game. And I think Saka obviously is,
Saka, Saka is the biggest.
Even though he's a big threat, I think closing him down stuff will be important. So I think Willian is key to playing in the FA Cup final.
Yeah, and Don, the two games this season, they've been quite close, right? Even though I think one draw and one loss for Arsenal. But despite the red card, that 2-2, I think that was a good result for Arsenal. So do you expect it to be a cagey game, or because of defenses, do you expect goals to be leaked?
No, I think it'll be a very cagey game. The 3-1 that I was saying was just to trouble these guys. But I think it'll be a cagey game. It won't be more than 1 or 2 goals in the game either way. But it's like I said before, right? The tactical battle is going to win. It's just going to matter on kind of some good points that Ryan brought up, and see how Abba kind of sets up, and if we set up a back three and if we maybe change in the middle, because seeing that Chelsea is kind of able to counter us nicely or whatever, and if we kind of change in the middle, I think those kind of small battles within the game will be what will actually win the favor of one side over the other for sure.
Yeah, and Don, who was it who was marking Mahrez? It was Maitland-Niles in the FA Cup
Yeah.
semis. Wouldn't you want him on Pulisic or something like that? Or
Yeah,
he did
so
a
that's
crazy job. He did a great job. Like he nullified that side.
he did a very very good job, and for that reason I would not mind having him in that team. But I usually like to play a left footed left back in the wing, so that's the only reason I want Saka, because when you try to cross it over, Saka can be a little bit more of a threat even attackingly, maybe slightly off the defensive side of things that could be a problem. But I honestly think that if you can get that attacking threat going, and he can put in those nice crosses for Laka and Oba to kind of make use of, and that's my reasoning for having Saka over there. Even though I do believe Maitland had a very good game against City last game. Even if they have Maitland-Niles, I wouldn't mind it though.
Maitland-Niles against Mahrez was so good because Maitland-Niles is right-footed and Mahrez tends to just cut in. So
Yeah.
he was always coming onto Maitland-Niles' strong side, so it was easier to defend, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you keep Maitland-Niles on the right, and Maitland-Niles, I think Abrar Bhai was a midfielder. He started off as a midfielder or a winger, right?
Yes.
Now, Pulisic, he just watch his record. He has been unbelievable against fullbacks who've become against players who've been turned from midfielders to fullbacks. Because he drops into those pockets between the fullback and the defender, and then he attacks from there. He's not one who just camps at the touchline and he drifts inside. He plays in those half spaces, so that's why he's so dangerous. And if you keep Maitland-Niles or whoever it is on the right side, if he pulls Maitland-Niles inside, then Alonso, that idiot, he's got a lot of space to bomb forward, right? And you know how
You're not
how
a
good he is
Alonso
by
fan,
attacking.
huh? You're not a Alonso fan.
I hate our fullbacks except Aspie and James.
Yeah.
I hate both our backs.
I mean, yeah, some good points there. So before we actually, let's get into the predictions. I have some questions after that as well. Zayan, I'll go with you first. Prediction for the game.
I think, as Abrar said earlier, it's going to be very cagey. I'm expecting a 1-1, and then extra time, someone's going to slip up. Hopefully, it's David Luiz or something, and if it goes to penalties, Caballero, he's a beast at penalties. So.
Oh yeah, you're confident in penalties.
Yeah, penalties. I would love Caballero. He's actually won the League Cup for Man City. I think he saved like 3 penalties in the final.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like
I had Kepa and yeah. Sorry, what were you saying?
He saved it against the common enemy.
Yeah.
Liverpool. Yeah. I mean, I had Kepa in mind, but like with this guy, I think they'll have a better chance in penalties for sure.
But I think we'll nick it extra time.
Extra time, 2-1 for Chelsea.
Yeah, 2-1.
Also, it's going to be a tense game according to you. Who should I go with first? Okay, Ryan, I'll go with you.
I don't think it's going to go into extra time or penalties. I think it's going to be decided in the 90. And I'm not going to give you a clear prediction because I don't want to be banned.
I want a clear prediction. I want a clear
2-1. 2-1. It's going to go 2-1 either way. It could be 2-1 for Chelsea or 2-1 Arsenal.
Pick a side.
Pick a side.
If Oba is controlled, then 2-1 Chelsea.
2-1 Chelsea. Okay, Ryan's going with 2-1 Chelsea. He's a bit on the fence there. Don, are you sticking to your 3-1, buddy?
2-1 Arsenal.
2-1 Arsenal. Goal scorers for the extra point.
2-1 Arsenal in the 90. Oba and Pepe are my scorers.
Pepe shouldn't show up this time. Wrong time for him to show up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but it is time for him. Like he's been disappointing for me this season. But I've
been having nightmares because Chelsea ke jo past results hai, all these players who've been on long goal scoring droughts have been scoring. So I'm afraid,
Yeah,
Pepe suddenly shows up and curls on into the top right.
That was another question I was going to ask you. Which player from the opposite team would you fear going into this game? Ryan, I'll go with you. Would it be Pepe or would you change that to
Pepe and Saka?
Pepe and Saka. And Zayan?
I have to go for Aubameyang because I think if Kante starts, I think we have the midfield sorted.
Kante is needed.
Yeah, and I think if we go for the 3 at the back and so do Arsenal, then their wing backs and our wing backs kind of nullify each other. So I'm just gonna go for Aubameyang. Against Aspilicueta, he's He's not as good as he was like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, but he is still reliable. But Aubameyang is obviously really fast, so maybe just maybe Aubameyang. Otherwise, I don't really see Arsenal as a threat.
Don, which Chelsea player? I think I know what you're gonna say, but yeah.
This young American that's been this has been taking the Chelsea attack to greater heights. Honestly, that guy is pretty good, Pulisic.
If I was you, I'd fear Giroud.
Nah,
because there'll be a lot of banter after that if he scores.
he did a lot of banter last year. So there's payback to come.
Honestly, I think Arsenal fans should be fearing Kovacic. Kovacic work goes
yeah, I agree.
unnoticed most of the
time. I agree 100%. He's a good player. He's a good player, no doubt.
You guys
go ahead.
Have to double press Kovacic. If you guys come with one, imagine Ceballos or Xhaka, they are just going to press Kovacic's space. He'll bypass your midfield in 2 touches, and then you're going to have 3 clowns running back. Yeah, that's the thing.
This is a fun podcast. He has interesting and good points, but the way he puts it across is quite nice too.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think we pretty much. So we have 2 Chelsea 2-1s, and we have 2-1 for Arsenal.
Your prediction?
Aapka neutral prediction.
Listen, for me, either way, I'm going to banter the team which loses, so I'm happy. But I think it's going to be a 2-2 going into penalties, then and go either way.
2-2 draw. Bruno Fernandes wins a penalty.
I didn't see that coming. But yeah, 2-2. Yeah, I think 2-2 Aubameyang brace and Giroud and Pulisic.
I think Zuma is going to score from a corner.
Zuma's going to get money. Let's just hope that's not an own goal, because Zuma has been shaking.
No.
But yeah, I think 2-2. But like, if Chelsea lose, then I'm going to be after these guys. If Arsenal lose, I won't do much to you, but I'll watch Arsenal fan TV all day. It'll be a lot of fun. Yeah. I think it'll be good.
Troops.
But I think, yeah, we've covered most of it. Do you guys have any last points to talk about for the game? And yeah, anything you guys want to contribute?
I think I just wanted to add, just for banter's sake, to make Ran in 2 minds for goal scorers. I think Alonso brace.
I don't mind it if he wins the cup. If he wins the cup and goes to Penang FC, I don't mind it. Yeah.
But Ryan, you should be a bit more confident considering you guys finished 4th, Arsenal finished 8th. I know Arsenal have beat City.
Abrar Bhai's first point is that he said was FA Cup hai, and they need that Europa spot, right? So that should motivate them. But the thing is, then I'm caught in 2 minds, because last season they needed that Champions League spot, and look what happened.
Different
manager, obviously.
Yeah, different manager, but Chelsea should be confident. I don't think going into the game after the City performance, yes, Arsenal will be super, super confident. But I think at the same time, I think Chelsea should have that confidence.
I have this tendency to never be too confident before Chelsea games.
Yeah, especially
I'm always a bit on the pessimistic side.
Yeah,
I always underwhelm the chances because ज़्यादा banter नहीं होना.
Yeah, I gave myself
take the risk.
Chance. I gave myself very little chance against City, and then after that performance against City, and then we beat Liverpool after that. So my attitude just went up like over there, and then.
But there will be a lot of people after you because you said that.
Mahmoud Trezeguet brought you back.
Yeah, that's literally what happened. That's literally what happened.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Mustafa. Just a second. I just want to add one thing. I don't think I've seen a more comical piece of corner defending than that goal. Auba and Tyrone Mings laughing at a joke, and boom, they concede.
Yeah, that was Aubameyang can do that sometimes. He kind of just slips out in and out of the games a little bit.
I'm in no position to banter people on set piece defending.
Yeah, I think it could either be very high scoring or.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to goals. I think there will be goals because that there are issues in both defenses, and I think attacks are pretty good as well. So I feel there will be goals. But yeah, Don, you just wanted to complete your point?
No. I kind of agreed with the point that we have like you said, right? We have defensive issues, so do they. I don't know, man. I'm just confident about us this time. don't know. It's the first time I'm confident in some time. So
Yeah,
let's see.
you're extremely confident because you told me they're going to win everything next season. So I think,
Next season we're winning everything. bro.
yeah,
We're
I
like
think this is a good place to start. But yeah, I think I think it sums up everything. Zayan, Ran, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Don, thank you so much, and hopefully it'll be an exciting game, a good game to look forward to, and really excited. See you guys on Saturday. Take care and have a good night.